Davide, Matteo, it's been a year. Good to see you. So thank you for having me in Milan again. We last met a year ago and I was holding a very different product to the one that I've been holding this morning. I want to first of all say thank you for having me back and I'm excited to have a nice, raw, unscripted conversation about the Nuance Audio Glasses and everything that has gone on in the last 12 months and your plans for the future.
Yeah.
So I guess the first question I got for you guys is around the why behind these products. So every innovation comes with a why. Like, why have EssilorLuxottica looked into joining the hearing tech space? So over to you.
Yeah. So first of all, Matthew, thanks for coming. It's always a pleasure to meet you after 12 months. So on the why, basically, let's start from EssilorLuxottica. Now, we have been always a pioneer in the vision space. And I think since our foundation, we have been transforming a pure medical device, like glasses, into something more like style, luxury, almost an accessory. And starting from this one, we realized that the hearing and the vision are very connected senses. And but if you think about that, are still addressed separately. So the question was why we could not do something to put them together. And basically we think that we can do the same path that we did on the glasses. So how to have something, give accessibility to a wider amount of people to the hearing care. We do think we can break down the barriers and redefine how the people are gonna perceive the hearing care. So that's the big why behind this project, and it's coming already since a few years of thought and work.
It's interesting you mentioned the barriers associated with hearing loss. So there's no question that there is a ton of stigma still associated with hearing loss and hearing aids and people not wanting to be reminded that they're not 21 years old anymore. Do you think that this will have a positive impact in terms of the industry? Do you think that this will open up the door to, let's just think of the US alone, where there are 30 million people in the US that have some form of hearing loss, with only a third of them having tried a hearing aid?
Absolutely, we do think, as you were saying, actually the stigma is probably the most important barriers to the hearing care. In this case, we are gonna bring on market something which is totally breaking down this barrier, because it's completely a discreet and invisible solution. Again, just to link back to our mission, as EssilorLuxottica, we talk about see more, be more. And this is important because now we are gonna add the hearing part. So see more, be more, hear more. But anyway, the see more, be more is important because there is, let's say, the functional part, see more. So every product we launch on the market needs to answer a certain way to, okay, what kind of needs I'm gonna solve. Okay, so the functional part. But there is the be more part, which is more the self-expression, the confidence. This is important in every product and launch we are bringing on the market. The product also must answer to this part. And so with this launch, we do think we are not only adding, let's say, and bringing on market something which is bringing performance in the hearing space for mild to moderate hearing loss, but also answering more to the self-expression, to the style part.
Which glasses have been doing historically for a long time now.
Exactly.
Yeah. I guess there is quite a big question around the stigma still, from my point of view, that normally one is able to overcome stigma as a result of normalizing something, but at the same time, we're still hiding the fact that people have a hearing loss. Do you think that this will still have the same impact in terms of overcoming the stigma associated with hearing loss? Will it still encourage more people to have this conversation, to talk about the fact that they've got a hearing loss, or at least start managing their hearing loss sooner?
I think yes, honestly. I think first of all, a lot of is happening in the industry overall. So I think this kind of innovation are gonna benefit overall the hearing industry because are raising awareness first of all around the topic, and then are really offering a solution to people that today has no solution. Because as you know, the mild to moderate hearing loss people are people which have a need which is not so urgent from one side, and the second, there are huge barriers and the stigma, the comfort, and also price, potentially accessibility. So for sure this is gonna lower down these barriers and it's gonna give access to millions of people to to the hearing care. And this, again, is a benefit overall for the industry. And we do think strongly this is going to be a complementary product for the hearing industry. It's going to attract more people in the industry. It's not going to switch people from one side to the other.
I think you're 100% right. I think that we're not looking at this being, in my opinion, competition for the third of people that already look at their hearing loss. It's for giving access to the 2/3 that don't do anything about their hearing loss. At the same time, there is, and we were talking about this earlier, I, as an audiologist, still feel that there's a need for audiologists to be involved in this process, and I know that you guys think so too. So how do you feel that the rollout of this will be? What's your goal and your vision with that?
Absolutely. About that, as we were saying before, we want to adopt a model that we call an open model. That means that everyone in the industry, in the audiology industry and in the vision industry, will be involved in the launch of this product, because we truly believe this product must be accessible to everyone, and of course audiologists must be included in the journey, in the launch, and involved in this. They are already, because we have been working for now 2 years with our chief of audiologists and with the best audiologists we met in this period in time. So to
one of them being Matthew Oslo.
I like that.
I know, exactly. I mean, we collect, as we were doing before, feedbacks, and we try to understand the need of the industry, speaking with all the people involved into that. And audiologists were definitely a big portion of the job that we have done, and we are keep doing it, by the way. So yes, indeed, audiologists will be involved.
Personally, I think it's an incredibly important part of the process still. I tried this earlier, as you know. It has, like I mentioned before, it has come on a long way since we met this time last year. I've experienced the packaging. It's got a very much luxurious feel to it. Unlike some of the other OTC products out there, it feels very much EssilorLuxottica. Everything has been thought about, in my opinion, from the way the app is designed, the actual glasses themselves. They feel incredibly light. You would have no idea that you've got a hearing aid built into this thing as well. They still sound like a set of hearing aids, whether that's an OTC hearing aid or a traditional hearing aid. So they're a little bit peculiar, which is what one would expect with any type of hearing aid technology. A little bit crisp, a little bit more detailed than one would expect, and there's a little bit of an echo to the sound. Now, in my consultations, I'll spend the first 15 to 20 minutes talking to a patient about what they're likely to experience when they first start wearing any new hearing aid technology. And that's somebody that maybe has worn hearing aids before or is brand new to wearing hearing aids. And again, I think that that's something that you've taken the correct approach with by involving audiologists, because those conversations will still need to be happening. And it's something a little bit unique about the way that you're approaching this versus other OTC hearing aid manufacturers. So I'm a big fan of that.
Thank you.
What I'm also a big fan of is the fact that we've had access to OTC hearing aids for just over 2 years now, and they haven't had the impact that we thought they would have on the industry. It's mainly been companies that have joined the space but haven't been very well known in the industry. And we've even had the likes of Bose, who were the first to the table. Sennheiser are now involved via various traditional hearing aid manufacturers. But I think the most grounds were made with Apple, with their recent announcement, and the access to marketing budgets that they've got and whatnot. And we've seen a real rise in people investigating and looking into OTC hearing aids. Will you guys be having the same approach? Do you feel that your involvement and will you be throwing everything at this? Do you think it will have the same positive impact in terms of awareness? Because for me, this is all about awareness. It's about people sat at the dinner table just having a conversation about hearing loss, which they just don't do currently.
Yeah, actually, yes, I think absolutely yes. And, we already spent the last year in trying to build awareness more on the, let's say, B2B segment, and now we are starting on the consumer segment. But for sure, this is going to be a pillar of our launch. So we need to strongly invest to raise awareness around the fact that there is today a solution to your needs, which is completely new, because you were referring to over-the-counter product, you are referring to Apple AirPods, but all those are not really an open-ear solution. This is, for the first time in the history, a completely open-ear solution and completely invisible and discreet. So this is the big difference, which is really breaking down the barrier of the stigma, which, as you know, is probably the most important barrier in the traditional hearing aids adoption. So absolutely, we are going to strongly invest to create awareness around the product, and then education. It's important. Explain how the product works, what you can expect from the product, which are the performance, and so on and so forth. So we have an extensive plan that we are going to put in place first in US market where we are launching, and then following up in Europe in the different countries where are going to launch. So I'm sure that the different innovation which are approaching the hearing industry are going to be beneficial for everybody, for the player working in the industry and for the final consumer, of course.
But to his point, you mentioned how our product will be differentiating from the OTC or any other OTC, no? And you refer to, of course, the stigma barrier, no? Because this is a very invisible solution. But we've been going through also analyzing and trying. Many of our team tried different OTC solution in the market, no? And all of them they are in the ear canal, meaning that after a while, you are bothered by having something into your ear canal. It's not a pleasant situation. We know that. The solution also it's an invisible solution, but also remove the discomfort of wearing some of those OTC available in the market. This is definitely something that I want to highlight because I believe it's a key element of the Nuance Audio Glasses.
So it's funny you say that because, we've had access to over-the-counter hearing aids now for 2 years, and there have been some big companies out there that have had the opportunity to completely revolutionize the way that hearing aids look, and no one's done anything different whatsoever. So I've got to say that this is the first product that's out there that looks very different to anything else that we've seen. I think it's great. I think it's fantastic. As far as the demographic that you think this is going to be suitable for, as we know, OTC hearing aids are going to be suitable or designed for anybody over 18 at the moment in the US primarily, and at the same time, those with a perceived mild to moderate hearing loss. Of those people, is there anybody specifically that you've got in mind that you think it would work best for, or the people that you think will be most interested in this product?
Actually, as you may know, after 50 there is a natural aging process of both vision and hearing. It's what we call presbyopia and presbyoacusia. So we do think that this is the perfect target. So after 50, basically, people could be in the need to have both vision correction and hearing correction. So we do think that this is our main target. So people plus 50-55, which are still active, whether it's in a workplace or still in a social life, and people who are aimed to improve their quality of life overall, still with a discreet invisible solution, and so they can still, have the stylish part is an important part of this component.
And like you said, they look nothing like a set of hearing aids. They just look like a normal pair of glasses. Based on, from my understanding, 2 of your most popular designs as well. Is that right?
Yes, actually we selected those 2 model and style, the round and the square, based on the historical data of the most sold product in US market. So of course these are bestseller.
Moving on to the process in terms of design, are there any particular challenges that you've experienced? You mentioned earlier it's the first open ear design of OTC hearing aid. What challenges does that come along with?
As you can imagine, many challenges. The team have been working hard to overcome all the potential threat and find solution to make the product as it is today. So very lightweight, as you can imagine. You saw something really behind the scene cool that shows you how much technology is in this light pair of glasses. Our R&D team has been able to put all that technology in only 43 grams, which is the average weight of any pair of glasses in the market. But again, with huge technology, we are really squeezing all the knowledge, and we have been able to use every square millimeter inside that frame to power those glasses with the best of our technology. So this was one of the challenges, of course. And the other one, of course, let me say, related to making something very invisible. The design team have done a fantastic job to use 2 iconic style and create glasses that you cannot even spot that is something different compared to a regular pair of glasses. this morning I got you, no? I was wearing them and you didn't spot.
Okay, so I've got a question then for anybody watching this at home. One of you guys is wearing them now, so at the end of this video, we'll reveal which one of you guys it is.
Yeah.
Now it's easy.
So moving on to the app. So these connect via Bluetooth
Yes.
to an Android or an iPhone, is that right?
Any platform, yes.
Okay. And so what is the advantage of having that connection? What does that involve? What does that entail when one would take them out of the box?
Yes, of course, the device is a standalone device. So you are wearing your eyewear, you're getting the amplification, the hearing correction, the sight correction is a truly standalone device. You need an app, you need the UX in the app to, of course, to set up the device, to make it very personal. No, it's a device that require an onboarding procedure, very light. You saw it, user-friendly.
So easy.
Step by step will guide our patient through a simple process we call calibration. That process make this eyewear tailor this eyewear to the needs of the patient, understanding the shape of the head of the patient, as well to adjust the tone of voice to have a more natural feedbacks, because of course it's something that we care about too. So the app is essential to do all these steps, of course, to also onboard the patient and create its own personal account, Nuance Audio account. Those steps that are very common in the industry, but we didn't forget about usability and and to make it very user friendly. So as I said, after the beginning, we also expect that some potential patient could also use the glasses without the app, and we made it happen in a very simple way.
And so the app is incredibly intuitive as well. You've got one screen which you can do everything on that single screen with various settings that can be adjusted to. So do you want to talk through the different settings that can be adjusted?
Yes, and this has been a very hard process in this last 2 years, develop something that was different compared to the industry, but very user friendly. We put everything, as you said, in one simple screen. The patient will have access to very basic functionalities like the two main modes, what we call frontal and all around. That is quite obvious what they do, but of course we made also available to the patient the preset selection. The presets are really related to the type of hearing loss the patient has, and of course volume control, and as well the ability to adjust our proprietary algo, like the one that suppress the amplification of the background noise. So actually with the simple tap, the patient will be able to access to all this functionality in just one simple screen and customize its experience depending also by the environment is exposed to, because we discover during all these months through clinical trial and user testing that really it's not just a matter of setting up the right preset for the type of hearing loss, but really customize the experience in the environment you are exposed to is super key to make the experience really working, right? So, and we made it, as you have seen, in a very easy app with just one screen.
With a comment that you made at the beginning of today around the barriers associated with wearing hearing aids, price is often one of those barriers. And I guess that depends on the country, because the likes of the US, either you have insurance or you have to self-fund or you have to buy them out of your own pocket. In the UK, we've got the National Health Service, so people can get free hearing aids, or again, it's the private market. But nonetheless, cost is a barrier. And as far as price for these goes, what sort of price will people be looking at to purchase them?
So actually this is gonna be priced on US market at $1,099. So it's still, if you compare to a pair of traditional hearing aids, is still around 1/4, because in US we know the average is 4,600. So it's on average with a good over-the-counter hearing aids in US, which are in the range of $900 up to $2,000. And on top of that, you are getting a frame, so a nice pair of frames plus the hearing aids. So we do think that with this price positioning, it's gonna give access to people,
Definitely.
So more affordable. By the way, we are also insurance is gonna be applicable to this one. So the managed vision care insurance for US, so you can get reimbursement on the vision part, and we are now exploring also with the insurance partner potential application of the hearing benefit to hearing insurance benefit to the glasses.
And that'll be a big dent off the price as well then.
Exactly.
Hopefully.
Yes.
A silly question, what about the people that don't need glasses?
So by default, they comes with what we call plano transition lenses, because we believe if you need an hearing solution, you might need that outdoor and indoor. So we decided to go for our one of our best technology that is called Transition Gen S. So that are the fastest transition lenses we made.
So it's photochromatic.
It's
lenses.
exactly. So when you are exposed to sunlight, they become dark, and they have a specific nuance of color applied based on the color of the frame that you select.
Very cool.
And they by default they are plano transition, so no correction. Then of course in the journey with the doctors, the patient will go through the need also about the vision, and in case of a need of a prescription, a certified lab will provide the specific lens that the customer need. But yeah, by default, to your point, there's gonna be good lenses already, but with no correction.
I mean, you guys have thought of everything, literally everything.
Hopefully, I don't know, we will discover down the road.
Yes.
Well, so you say discover down the road. What does the future look like then? So this is product number one. Is there a roadmap in terms of what you want to do to achieve global domination? Have you guys got a plan already?
But this, for me, what is important to say that this is going to be an innovation platform. So this is the first, we are launching a new category. This is going to be the first product of a number. And again, so we are already working on the next generation of innovation, which are going to integrate more performance, more style, more. So it's going to be a long road, and of course, we are just about to start.
Yes, it's very exciting. All I'll say is I'm looking forward to getting my own set that I can take home and I can review fully. So please send them out as soon as possible, because I'll share that on the channel as well for anybody watching from home. Thank you so much for having me today. If there's anything else you guys want to add?
No, thank you. It's always a pleasure, Matt. And so hopefully next time we are gonna see again with the product on the market with some consumer feedback and and presenting the next generation.
Super, very exciting. So watch this space.
No, I'm super pleased to meet you again, and looking forward to see you, as Davide said, with the product in market. We will take your feedback as always. Thank you for being here with us.
Thank you for having me.
Good.